Kevin, can you do this one for me, please? Put a thumb together.
Yes, Ty.
Now go ahead and do this one for me, please.
Read it.
Yeah.
Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
You can do the English one. Thank you.
Okay, I'll do it next time.
Okay. Okay, you can do this one English. Go ahead. Yeah.
The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Good, thank you. Okay, so we last time we learned we continue on our topic, the depression. Okay, so that time we learned about all this thing already. So we in here, we know that the depression is very important, right, to the teenager because they are very immature, and they usually based on their emotion to make the decision. That therefore the committing suicide is the chance is very big, so it's very high. So we so whenever we see any kind of the sign or the symptom, we should pay more attention to them. So we have to use the loving kindness and be patient and listen to them instead of we try to listen to them so we can understand their thinking, their feeling. That's the key to communicate with them. Otherwise, we cannot be able to communicate with them. Okay. Okay. So today I'm going to start. We will going to learn about the cognitive distortion. It means that this is the there are at least 16 different type of cognitive distortion. That means the error thinking or the negative thinking, or this is everything come from the mind, right? So that means the problem from physically or mentally, it's also come from the mind. So we have to be very careful. We will go through all these things together. Mm-hmm. And when we understand this, we will be able to how to transform our negative thinking into positive. Then the mental problem will disappear. So basically, the mental problem is nothing else that comes from the mind. If we know how to transform our mind, then things will get better. All right. Let's see. Serena, you can read number 1 for me, please. Thank you.
Polarized thinking. Things are black or white, bad or good. You have to be perfected or you are a failure. There is no middle ground.
You understand what does it mean?
I'm guessing a lot of negative thoughts that people have is that you have to be perfect or you're just a failure. There's nothing in the middle.
Okay. Okay. So basically, in here, what we learn is there are two extremes, right? The black or white, or bad or good, or the all or nothing. They also have another one they call all or nothing. That means there ain't no middle ground. So it will be a chaos. They do not go with the middle ground. They only accept or successful or failure. That's all. That's all they do. So we will learn into detail all this thing here. And we will see all the example of this thing later on, and we will see how do we transform it. And that is the purpose of learning all this thing together and using the Western psychology. And later on at the end, I will integrate it, the Buddhist psychology, how to deal with it in one for all. Okay, that's important. Okay. William, you want to do number 2 for me, please? Thank you. William, are you there?
Oh, number 2?
Yeah, number 2.
You come to a general conclusion based on a single incident or piece of evidence. If something bad happens once, you expect it to happen over and over again.
Do you understand what does that mean?
Not that much.
Not that much? Okay, thank you for your okay, that's good. That's good. Let me so over generalization, it means that you come to a general conclusion based on a single incident or a piece of evidence. If something bad happens, you expect it to happen over and over again. It means that when something, let's say that if your friend or something has happened to you or to other people, and if you only look at the negative thing that happened to them, and you base on that negative incident, and you label it as a whole, right, on that person. For example, maybe when we see, we easily stereotype, right? Stereotype. That's how you say it. Based on the race, ethnic, we easily say that okay, this person is bad, and we use that we label for the whole race, and that is not good, because doesn't matter what race, which race we are belong to. For example, Asian, white American, black, Hispanics, or each one of them, they all do have a good and bad, right? So no matter what, but we should not look at a single incident and we are over generalization to the whole, at the whole. That's what we are concerned about this thing. Okay. Okay. Houston, you want to do number 3 for me? Please, thank you. Houston, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, do number 3, please. Thank you.
You take the negative details and magnify them, filtering out all positive aspects of a situation.
Do you understand this thing?
It's basically saying that you just ignore all like the negative things that happen and just worry about the positive.
No. Opposite. We take the negative thing, right, and we magnify them in detail, right, and we ignore all the positive. Give me 1 second. No, không làm sao, không đang có đất làm sao vậy? Anh đi đến nằm đi. Được, anh tới là cái vùng phục không anh? Anh gọi. Anh Hồng mới gửi cái địa chỉ cho anh Hồng mới đi lên cái ghế 2 giờ anh ta. Ok rồi, anh nói chuyện với buổi. Rồi. Ok rồi. Sorry, I have an urgent call. So sorry. Okay. So basically, it's we take the negative thing, right, and we look into detail of the negative, and we filter out all the positive, right? So that is the way that this kind of, well, all this kind of distortion or the cognitive distortion is we always have the negative thinking, or we always have the pessimistic view instead of optimistic, right? So and so that is one way. Okay, let me see. Okay, number 4. Aaron, you do number 4 for me, please. Thank you.
Discounting positives is finding reasons that your positive experiences are unimportant or don't count. When your default thinking pattern is to discount the positive, you build a bias towards the negative experiences you have, not because you don't see the good, but because you think the negative ones are more important and meaningful for your identity.
So, do you understand what does it mean?
Not really.
Okay. So, so this is about ourselves, right? We look at the we only look at things ourselves in negatively. When we do good thing, right? We might do a lot of good thing, but you know what? Those good thing is not important to us. And but when we create a negative thing for ourselves, we base on that negative thing, and we take we use that for to make it a big deal out of it, and that's how it's represent our identity. This is very terrible. Um, so when the negative thing happened to us, right? Well, let's say that we make a mistake, and and you know what? Even though in the past we did a lot of good things, you know what? Based on this mistake here, with this cow or with this qualify all the positive that we have done in the past, and this is the way that this kind of habit or thinking of this person is. Okay, so does that make sense to you, Aaron?
Yeah, Ty.
Good, thank you. Um, um, you do number 5 for me. Are you there?
Yeah, Ty.
Okay.
Catastrophizing. You expect a disaster, you notice or hear about a problem and start what if strategy strikes? What if it happens to you?
Do you understand what does it mean? Maybe
Yes, Ty.
you do?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that something happened. I mean, it's going to happen, right? I mean, the disaster, and you know what? It not yet happened, but we about to worry, and with a lot of questions related to what if, right? What if this had happened, and what should we do? And you keep repeat that question over and over again, and that make us to become disaster, right? We already make ourselves disaster. Um, um, this is the way that this person thinking. So we will learn into detail later on, and we will understand what does it mean. Larry, you can look. Can you do for number 6 for me, Larry?
Thinking that everything people do or say is some kind of reaction to you. You also compare yourself to others, trying to determine who is smarter or better looking, etc.
Do you understand what it is saying?
Yeah.
Hmm. What do you understand?
It's saying that like you just make things about yourself a lot.
So when we look at the other people, right? We look at the way they say it, the way they do it, and we are very sensitive to their action, to their saying, right? So we easily react to them because we take things personally, right? And this is because we always compare uh, ourselves to them, right? To other people, and that's what happened. We take things personally, and it's not good because any kind of personally, and usually all this thing here, it will trigger the emotion, right? All we learn in here, it will trigger emotion, and when we follow the emotion to make the decision or react, and that means we cannot think, we cannot have a better, we cannot rationalize. So that is important. So we have to be very careful. This is, Victor, you do number 7 for me, please.
Did you say my name?
Yeah, Victor.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Mind reading without their saving, so you know what people are feeling and why they act the way they do. In particular, you are able to divine how people are feeling towards you.
What do you think? Okay, so without their saying, right? And we already know what the people feel, right? And how they act. And that's how we say that we be able to read their mind. But you know what? I don't think we can be able to read their mind. I don't think we know what they think, right? But we assume that we know. And we assume that we know their feeling and we know how they act. No, we do not. But once we assume that we be able to read their mind and we take things, and that's what we also based on that the way they act, the way they feel. But we don't know how they feel, right? But we take that, and that you think that the way they act and they feel towards you, and that's bad. That's really bad because sometimes, a lot of time when we predict things, right, based on our emotion, things go wrong, not go right. It never go right, right? So and um, and that's why easily for us to all this kind of thinking will harm our relationship with others as well. So we have to be very careful. John, are you there?
Wait, can you repeat the question again? I couldn't hear you.
Thank you. Can you do number 8 for me?
Number 8. All right.
Yeah.
Number 8. You have a list of ironclad rules about how you and others should act. People who break the rules anger you, and you feel guilty if you violate the rules.
You understand the suit statement here? You know what does that mean?
Like what it means?
Yeah. I mean, no. I mean, what you just read. You understand what is that? What
it's just like rules. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when we use the should statement in our, let's say that we said I should do this. What happened? I should do this every day. What happened if we cannot be able to do it?
We feel guilty.
We feel guilty because we violate our rule, right? The rule that we put on ourselves. You see that?
Yes.
That means we put more pressure to ourselves, and that's how we become depressed. You see? What about and also we impose we impose the rule on other people. We expect other people to go along with our rule. What happens if they do not? We get angry. You see that? That's not good. So the should statement is not never good. Well, let's say that I should exercise every day, right? But someday, let's say one day we get tired and we cannot be able to do it. We say, that, okay, I already tried my best. Okay, maybe I will do it when I get better. Yeah, that's how we, instead of using the should statement, right? We use the trying. I try my best. I will try my best. Something like that. Well, the only thing we can do is we can try, right? We don't force ourselves that we cannot be able to commit to it, right? Things go up and down. That's normal. We cannot expect things always constant in a horizontal way. No, that doesn't work that way. All right, let's see. Becca, you want to try number 9 for me, please?
Was that my name?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Emotional reasoning. You believe that what you feel must be true automatically. If you feel stupid and boring, then you must be stupid and boring.
What does that mean?
You depend on the emotions that you're feeling that day. So if you're happy, then you must be a good person. But if you're not happy, then you must not be a good person.
Is that scary that when we base on emotion?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Is that scary if we base on the emotion to have happy or not happy?
I think so.
That will be very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, never trust our emotion, our feeling. No, never, because those things come and go, right? So they keep changing, and don't ever base on our mood to make the decision or to have unhappy or not happy. No, those things is not we should not based on that thing to determine our happy life or not, or based on those things to make the decision. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think Jim, you want to try the number 10 for me, Jim? Jim, are you there? Yeah. Okay. Tammy, you want to? No, I mean, Wing, you want to try number 10?
Yeah. Labeling is a cognitive distortion in which we generalize by taking one characteristic of a person and applying it to the whole person.
Okay. Do you understand this?
I think so.
Yeah. It's easy to understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we pick one of the. Usually, we look at the negative characteristic of that person, and we label it on that person as a whole.
Is it like if can I give an example?
Yeah, sure, please do.
Like if person A is working in a project with a group and they got most of the things right, would other people generalize them as the smartest one? Like label them as the smartest one in the group?
Oh yeah, you can put that way. Well, that is a good label. But yeah, well, that yeah, you can. That is one of the example we can put. But usually for the labeling, it's negative because in this way we are learning about the cognitive distortion. So this is related to the negative labeling. That's why they say that labeling is a cognitive distortion. it means negative. It's not positive. But the one you give is not bad. That's really good. That's really good. Thank you. Emmy, can you try number 11?
Number 11, blaming, denying. Blame shifts all the responsibility for what's gone wrong into someone, something, or someone else. Denial is when we do not tell the truth about our actions to others or ourselves.
So what do you think?
So it's always somebody else's fault. It's never your fault way of thinking. So like when she was saying you're working with a group on a group project, then if something goes wrong, then you're going to blame somebody else for the project failing. And you're going to be in denial that, oh, it's not my fault because I did everything I could when actually you did very little.
Yeah, that's right. But when we claim the other people, that automatically we are denied, right? Automatically we deny ourselves, right? So so they go together. So when we claim other, that means also we deny our that means we do not accept that is our problem. So it also means denial. Okay, so we will learn about that. All right, let's see. Serena, can you try number 12 for me?
Now let's see if fairness. You feel resentful because you think you know what's fair, but other people won't agree with you.
You feel resentful because you think you know what is fair, but other people won't agree with you. Okay. So let's say that when you try your best, right, but you don't get the result what you want, and you will get angry, right? And because you think you know what is fair, but other people won't agree with it. So sometimes I think it's we will also look into detail and we will learn exactly what they mean to it. All right, Kevin, you do number 13 for me.
Number what?
13.
Control fallacies can go two opposite ways. You either feel responsible or in control of everything in your and other people's lives, or you feel you have no control at all over anything in your life.
So what do you think?
You can either feel responsible or you control everyone and your friends' lives, or you have no control over anything in your life. So you either have a lot of control or you have no control.
So this is the two opposite way, the very extreme, right? So the person who are bossy, they always want to control everything, right? Just like the dictator, right? Dictator in this world, they want to control everything. That is one of extreme way, or you have no control at all. That is the way that they behave, they act. Okay. Let's see. Houston, you can do number 14 for me.
When we live by the fallacy of change, we think that if only others would change, then we could be happy. Only then will we be appreciated, loved, supported, able, motivated, etc.
What do you think?
I think it's saying if we change, we would be more happy and
Who
all of
changed?
that.
Who changed? Ourselves change or other?
Others.
Yeah, order change, then we will be happy, right? We will be appreciated. We will be motivated. Is it a good thing that, do you think that we can change other people?
No.
Okay, then what happened if we cannot change them? What happened to us?
We wouldn't be happy.
We don't appreciate it and we don't love it. We don't get supported. We are not motivated, right? So that if our happy life and our motivation is based on other people change, we put ourselves in trouble. We cannot change anyone. The only person we can change it ourselves. You don't expect other people to change. We have to change ourselves first before other people can change. They can change whenever they want. It's okay. Doesn't matter. That is not important. That is not our problem. That is not it's our control, right? We cannot control those things. But we can control ourselves. We can change ourselves. That because when this kind of person here, okay, tell me, what do you think? What is this kind of person? What do you think? How do they get happy?
So they're never going to be happy because they're always going to be waiting on somebody else to change so that they can be happy. So they're going to live a miserable life because the only control you really have is the control over yourself to change. So you're just going to be living in suffering because you're waiting for other people to change so you can be happy, and it's not going to happen.
Okay. Rebecca, when we change ourselves, how do we get motivated? How do we get happy?
I guess if we change ourselves for the better and we start thinking about motivational topics or things that we can do better in our lives with, then we could possibly like lead a path to happiness. But I don't think you'll automatically be happy when you first start making changes. It always takes time.
Yeah, that's right. Usually all this type of thinking here is a negative, it's pessimistic, right? So, but when we change ourselves, we change from the pessimistic view into the optimistic view, or from the negative view into the positive view. Automatically, we will gain control. Well, we will be able to be happy more because we have less suffering, because we don't hold on the negative view. Once we change it, we do not hold on the negative view, automatically you get less suffering and you get more happier. Okay. So of course we also get more motivated automatically. So that's how we can make ourselves happy when we change ourselves. We don't wait on other people change to make ourselves happy. No, never. If we do, we will in trouble. Okay. So this is good. That's good. That's really good. Larry, you do number 15 for me, please. Thank you.
Did you say 15 or 16?
15. Being right.
Always being right is an irrational way of thinking characterized by the need to always prove themselves right by proving others' opinions wrong. People with this unrealistic mindset cannot accept that they can commit mistakes. Hence, they will do everything in their power to show others that they are correct.
What do you think about this thing?
It means that they just, instead of ever thinking that they might be wrong, they always think that the others are wrong. So they don't care if, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, they always think that they are right. So they will try the best to prove other people wrong. And this is called egocentric, right? The people with the egocentric, that means it's terrible, right? They do not have a realistic mindset, so they call that unrealistic mindset. So they cannot accept their own mistake. They only think that they always right, even though they make mistake. And for this kind of person, you know what? Doesn't matter whatever we say to them. They do not have the rational thinking. They cannot accept it. So it's very tough to convince this kind of person. So we have a lot of different type of people in this world. So when we deal with this kind of people, man, we got a lot of headache. Tell me, what do you think? How do we deal with these people?
So I used to have this problem myself. And it took my boss telling me, I would go in there and I tell him what was going on and stuff. And he told me a couple times, he said, man, it must really be hard to be right all the time. And after he told me, he was like, Tammy, it must be hard to always be right all the time. And after he told that to me a couple times, then I kind of relaxed and let it go. Like, no matter what, and no matter how much I was convinced that I was right and everything, and whatever else was wrong, I just walked away from it. So I tried to explain a couple times and then just let it be, because sometimes you can explain things to people and they are willing to accept it, and sometimes they're not. And you're not always right all the time. So no matter how much you feel that you're right and you want to be gung-ho about being right, you're not. Like, there's many different things going on. You got to really accept what other people have to say if they're open to share their opinions with you. But it's okay to be wrong. It's no big deal. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's right all the time. But if you're dealing with somebody that's just gung-ho about proving that they're right and not wanting to listen to opinions, I would just nod my head and walk away from it. It's not worth arguing with them.
It just like we hit our head into the wall. So yeah, that's very tough. So better walk away, and it's not worth it to spend time with them. This is very tough. But if we be able to pause for a minute, right, to think that okay, we're not always right, because nothing is always right, right? Even the best person in this world also sometimes they get wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay. Doesn't matter. We don't ask for perfection, right? No, there is no such thing called perfection in this world. If we always looking for that, we in trouble. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Victor, you do number 16. Yeah? Victor, are you there? Victor, are you there? Let's see. John, can you do number 16 for me? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Number 16.
Yeah.
I can't see it. Oh, never mind. You expect all your sacrifice and self-denial to pay off as if there were someone keeping score. You feel better when the reward does not come.
What did you think about this?
Like, well, I think about it, or what does it mean?
Yeah, tell me what you understand from this.
Then like, I don't really know how to say it, but it's like you get angry when, like, when it doesn't go your way, kind of.
Well, let's say that you spend all your energy, right, to work on something that let's say that you spend a lot of time to study for your test, for your SAT or whatever. And you know what? At the end, you don't get you don't get the result you expect, and you feel that it's and the hard work you put in, it doesn't pay off. So that's why because you think that all your hard work should have pay off. That. And you know what? Everything could go wrong, right, in this world. When thing happen, we only try our best. We don't expect too much from it. If it doesn't come out the way we want it, it's okay. We can try next time. So what a big deal, right? So why should we attach to things that we cannot control? Okay. So we're done with this thing. Now we can move on to the specific, into the specific, so we can learn about it. Okay, before we learn about that, let me show you this. You see that? I put the brain in the middle, right? It's mean the cognitive distortion come from the mind consciousness in Buddhism. From the mind, right, we have all this kind of thinking here. So all the cognitive distortion are hijacking our brain, right? So we have to be careful. They are the one who hijack. And usually all this kind of thinking here, it's become automatic, right? Automatic. When it happens so quick that we cannot even recognize, right? We cannot even see it. We cannot even catch it. And that's what we call hijacking our brain. When it's hijacking our brain, and we cannot have a rational thinking, okay, then we cannot see things clearly. No, we cannot. And later on, when I show you the Buddhist psychology in this term, I will put together all this thing here. You will learn all this thing together, and you will understand it. I will do that at the end. Okay, this is. But I will let you see the Western psychology, how they deal with it. It's very good to learn both sides. It's very good. So nothing wrong. The benefit is you know more than one, and we can be able to have a flexible transform our mind in the proper thinking. That's important. So the whole idea to learn this thing is that way. Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, Bewin, you read at the beginning. Win,
What do I read?
at the beginning in the 1960.
I don't see the thing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I open more than one. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah. In the 1960s,
A psychiatrist.
Aaron Beck pioneered research on cognitive distortions in his development of a treatment method known as cognitive behavioral therapy. Since then, researchers have identified at least 10 common distorted thinking patterns, which are listed below. 1. Polarized thinking, all or nothing. Sometimes called all or nothing or black and white thinking, this distortion occurs when people habitually think in extremes, where you're convinced that you're either destined for success or doomed to failure, that the people in your life are either angelic or evil. You're probably engaging in polarized thinking. This kind of distortion is unrealistic and often unhelpful because most of the time reality exists somewhere between the two extremes.
Okay, stop right there. So what do you understand from the polarized thinking? All or nothing, or they call black and white thinking. So what do you think? Or they call
like there's many ways you can look at people.
They only two extreme way.
Like at first you think someone is nice, and then after they do something you think they're bad.
Yeah, that means we are very extreme, right? We only go with the all or nothing. Uh, you are only successful or failure or something like that. Or someone, when we look at the, okay, try the number, okay, let's do the example number one. Let's hold on. Serena, you do number one, example number one for me. Serena, are you there?
Sorry, what? I had to go get something. Sorry.
Okay, example number one.
Your coworker was a student to she ate your sandwich. Now you cannot stand her.
What did you think about it? Relate to the all or nothing thinking.
Is it because she ate my sandwich that I wanted and now I hate her?
Okay.
At first I was okay, and then all of a sudden at first I was okay with her, and then all of a sudden she ate my sandwich. I started hating her.
Tell me, what do you think about this one? Tell me, are you there?
So all or nothing. So now, just like she said, since she ate the sandwich, now she's a bad person. Where before she walked on water and now she ate your sandwich. So now she's evil, and you can't get that out of your mind. You can't stop thinking of her as an evil person because of this one action that she did. No matter how many good things she's done in the past and how wonderful she was before, she did one bad thing. Now she's just evil.
Yeah. That means that at the beginning, we look at this person as the angel, right? And now, because of her action, we look at her as the evil. So it's very extreme, right? It's very extreme. There is no the middle route. There is no middle route for this thing here. So this kind of thinking is really, really terrible. What kind of what scenario that come from this type of thinking? What do you think?
So people are either good or bad. They're not, and that's just not the truth of it. The truth of the matter is everybody is both good and bad at times. So you're going to just, with this type of thinking, and if you have a negative mindset, then most of the time everybody's going to be bad, because they're only be good until a certain point when they do something that you see that they've wronged you, and then they become bad. So with the black and white, you're going to categorize everybody else as being bad and evil after they do something to upset you. But the reality is everybody, even the criminals in jail, they're not bad people. They've done bad things. They've had bad actions, and people can always change. So you don't want to label a person one way or another, but it's more their actions than the person themselves.
That's right. So if this kind of thinking, we will never have friends, right? Because eventually everyone will be bad, right? So because they're only good at some point, right? If they accidentally make a mistake, and we automatically we label them as a very evil person, and you know what? At the end, we are isolate ourselves. We will put ourselves in trouble. And this is not the realistic thinking. This is very harmful. And you know what? Just like Tammy said, even if a criminal, they in the past they done a lot of bad things, but it doesn't mean that people cannot change, right? They will change, right? They will one they pay off their sentence, and they get out of jail, and they want to start over, to make their own life, right? So they're willing to change to have their own family. So people can change from time to time, and no one is perfect. We don't look for perfect, and we should not look for perfect, right? So we should look for the common route. Well, sometimes on and off. It's okay. We have to be empathized, to be empathy to other. So that's important. It's important. All right, that's good. Okay. You can do number 2 example. Are you there? Okay. Mary, you can do number 2, example 2.
You say me, Terry?
Yeah.
Example 2, you got a B on your last test, so you have failed at being a good student despite getting only A's before that.
What do you think about this?
I think it's a good example of polarized thinking, because the student in the example has always been getting A's, but they got a B. They only got a B once on that previous test.
So they automatically label themselves as a failure, right? As a bad student, right? So that's not good. So this kind of thinking, when we have this kind of thinking, we will not be able to motivate ourselves. So when we fall, it's not easy to stand up, right? It's not easy. So we have to be very careful on this kind of thinking. Well, yes, we try our best. Well, if that, let's say that we always get A. John, this is good for you. Good. You always get A, right, John?
Oh, wait, you said always get A?
Yeah, that's always. What happened? We always get A on every test. And what happened one day we got B? What happened to you?
I'd be very, very sad.
And what else?
Angry.
And
Disappointed.
disappointed. And then what happened to your day? And what happened to your the next class meeting?
The next class meeting? Oh, I'd be like, I wouldn't try as hard anymore.
Okay. Well, that means it's not the end of your life, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's good. You are allowed to get upset. It's okay. But remember, the way we should think it, I already tried my best. Maybe this time I failed because maybe I did not try as best as I could, right? So maybe next time I will try more. Okay, so yeah, you can upset, but do not let yourself discourage your motivation. Always motivate yourself to make sure that next time you can try even more, and so you don't harm yourself. Okay, that's good. That's good. So okay, Houston, you do the next one for me, or nothing thinking.
Usually leads to extremely unrealistic standards for yourself and others that could affect your relationship and motivation.
Try number 3.
I just failed that math test. I'm no good at school and might as well quit.
What do you think about this?
I wouldn't know.
Okay. Okay. Becca, what do you think about this, Rebecca?
For all or nothing, I don't know. Personally, I'm really bad at math, so I don't do good math anyways, but I'd never thought of quitting school. So I guess if someone fails a test and they think that that's the only thing or the only reason they should attend school, then it's an all or nothing or polarized thinking instead of focusing on the other good things that they're getting at university or school.
But well, in here they just say that I just failed that math test. It doesn't mean that they are not good at math. No, doesn't mean that. Maybe they good at math, but you know what? They just failed this test, and they already automatically jump to the conclusion, say that I'm no good at math. I'm no good at school. Well, what's wrong with the school? Nothing wrong with school, right? We always been good in school, and most of the time we did good, right? And suddenly we just got well, somehow we fell on the test. It doesn't mean that the end of the school life, right? No. Well, we just like you said that we can, maybe we are not good at math. We can focus on something else. Maybe English, right? Maybe some other major. That will be good. So that's how you compromise your motivate yourself to continue on your education. So to have a good future. So many people, I'm not good at English, right? I'm not good at, I don't have a good memory, so I cannot go for the medical field to become a doctor. So I'm okay with math. I'm not saying that I'm good at math, but so I'm go with the engineering. So whatever we are good with, we comfortable with, yeah, we can go into that direction. So that's okay. We are good on something. We are not good on other things. It's okay. It's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. So today we will stop right here, and we will continue on this. Don't you think that this is a good thing to with the call for today? We learn about this, right? Tell me, what do you think, Serena?
You need me or Tammy?
Oh, Serena.
You- What exactly was the question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, we are going into detail on this thing, and don't you think this will be the good topic? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So we will understand the way we are thinking. And when we understand the way we are thinking, we'll be able to, let's say next time we have some kind of negative thought, right? And we can contemplate to see which one it fall into, which type of the thinking it fall into, then we can try to come up with the positive thinking. So that's how it will help us to prevent from getting into the depression. This is important, or anxiety, whatever. Right? Okay. Okay. We will stop right here. Okay. Let's see. Aaron, you do this one for me, Aaron.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you next time. Yeah, thank you.
Come on, Kai.
Thank you.
Hey, Kai.
No,